We are back with Joy Agnes. Joy, what
Yes,
are
sir.
what are three reasons why anyone should hire you?
If you're looking for the best in the business, that's what I am. If you're looking for somebody with experience as to how, where, when, and good direction, that's who I am. If you're looking for accountability, respect, and favorable, that's what we are.
Joy, what is most challenging about what you do?
Putting it all together to make sure that the person's dream become reality. I am the fairy godmother of events and weddings. You bring your request to me, you bring your thoughts to me, and I infuse them to make it happen.
You get a request. You're going to plan this wedding.
Mhm.
What happens? Walk us through the process, not the details of planning the wedding, but the creative process. What happens to Joy? Does she go into a room by herself? Does she go somewhere for a drive by herself? How do all these creative strands or
Juicy,
pieces? Yes,
juicy flow.
yes, exactly.
Joy sits in her office, or she sits on her bed at 2 and 3 o'clock in the morning, and I am creating a project. I'm infusing now my color scheme, my color palettes, my florals, because I don't know if you know or you don't know, but every flower comes in with a particular season. So if you want roses in October, it depends on the type of roses you want. I may or may not be able to get them. So I have to keep in touch with my vendors to find out from them if it's available and the time of the year. If you can keep it for me, how far out can we have it? Things of that nature. What people see when they attend a wedding or an event is a finished product and everybody's happy and exciting. What people don't see is the construction of putting it together like everything else in life. There are certain things that has to be executed, not only on paper, but also mentally. I can have an idea and I'm not going to share it until I've already have it all sketched out. And then I look and see what it looks like, and then I figure if I want to have it or not. And if I don't want to have it, then I scrap that and move on to the next. It also depends, Selwyn, on I have to tell you, my clients, I try to read my clients to see what works best for them.
Hmm.
No two people are alike, as we know, and everybody has different tastes. So I try to pull from them as much as possible through conversation to their likes and dislikes. So that's challenging at times. Do you like flowers? No, I don't like flowers, but I don't mind having carnations. Well, sweetheart, carnations are flowers. So there you are, you know. So we get answers like that sometimes, and then I may have a guy that's actually planning a concert, which we do that sometimes also, and they're saying to me, oh, we want to get this musician and that musician, but oh, I don't know if it can happen. Of course, it can happen. Anything is possible. The price tag is what makes the difference. It's challenging because now you're giving me something to do and you're actually making me do something in a different direction.
Hmm.
And that's what we're here for.
You won fan favorite in the tabletop design competition and
Oh,
exhibition.
you saw that
I saw that.
at Uncle
Were
Sam. That is a cake. Believe it or not, it's a cake.
okay, so you were also inducted into the Cambridge Who's Who for outstanding
Oh my God.
executives, professionals, and entrepreneurs in
Yes.
2008, and in the Strathmore's Who's Who worldwide for exemplary professionals in 2012. Tell us
Oh my
about.
goodness. So when you've been doing your homework,
Well, I had to tell us about these two inductions and what they mean to you.
a lot. I love, especially, oh my God, Strathmore's Who is Who. It's not easy. It's not something that you can purchase. They actually, believe it or not, go into your background, see the kind of things you do, see how your peers speak about you, and the kind of respect that you get from your clients, and then they go back to the drawing board, so to speak, discuss it among themselves, and then they figure out, believe it or not, if you are capable and if they want you to represent their company.
Wow.
Now, don't forget, even though this is who I am a representation of the brand that they're going to brand me with. So I have to be on par with everything and parallel with what I do. So if I'm saying to you now, oh, Selwyn, I can plan wedding. Oh, Joy, for how many people? And I say 1,500, you're going to be like, no way. Yes way.
Hmm.
because it can be done.
Yeah.
How fast can I plan a wedding? 24 hours. You want it faster than that? I can't do it.
24 hours?
24 hours. A mom says to me, my son is coming in. I would like you to do their wedding because his girlfriend is pregnant and we want them to get married before he go back out. When is he gonna be here? Tomorrow. What time? About 4:30. Okay. How many people? About 30. All right, consider it done. The minute she walks out of my office, I'm on my phone. I'm calling my vendors. And these are the people that make me look good because they're vendors for levels that I have. I have high end vendors, middle vendors, and vendors at the bottom, as I call it. But the bottom don't mean the bottom of the barrel people. So please don't misconstrue that.
Mm-hmm.
It just means people with limited budgets.
Yes.
So I would call my vendors and I'll say, look, this is what I'm expecting. This is what we're going to do. And the first thing they'll say to me, where's the venue, Miss Joy? Well, the venue is XYZ. Could we get this done? Sure. The rest is history. It's done. Because once I line up my vendors, I'm done. I have a cake designer. I have a floral designer. I have my DJ. I mean, it's done, Selwyn. So you want to get married 24 hours, Selwyn? Well, that's what I do. Yes.
Joy, what gives you pause or anxiety about this process?
When I started, not now. I'm not anxious of
Oh.
anything.
Oh.
When I first started, yes. How is it going to look? How are people going to view me? What would they think about me? Am I the kind of person they really want to work with? You have all those little quirks. But I tell you one thing, I am never comfortable with any wedding or event I do until it's done.
Until after over 25 years, over 27 years, what still surprises you about you, Joy?
My creative part, my creative genius. I'm always coming up with something. And I still marvel at myself sometimes. I say, oh, I'm going to try this. And it's not really a try, it's a perfection when it's done. Even though nothing is perfect, as we know. But it's there. It's what I wanted, and it came out the way I wanted it. And it becomes the wow factor. And yes, I'm happy about that.
If you had to describe objectively Joy as a wedding planner, Joy Agness, but you're the person who's doing it, and you had to describe Joy Agness 25 years ago versus Joy Agness today. Give us a glimpse of Joy Agness 25 years ago when she first started, and tell us about Joy Agness today.
Joy Agness 25 years ago when I started. This business is not for the faint at heart because as you go out to the networking events, you'll find the masters in the field. You will find those that want to become masters in the field, and you're going to find those that tell themselves they're masters in the field. So you have to be prepared to be above the rim when you get there. Don't behave like you're a newbie because they're going to treat you real rough. You can be shunned, you can be ignored. You're talking to people and they're walking away. I've been there because they don't know you and they don't know your capabilities and they're not taking the time to find that out. Now, Joy Agnes, now I can walk into several venues and I'll be like, "Hi, Miss Joy, how are you? I'm good. What do you want? How do you want us to do this?" You see the scales I went?
Yes, yes, yes.
Because I am a preferred vendor at a few of South Florida's upscale hotels. And when I go there, I mean, you're being treated with that much respect as opposed to Joy Agnes 25 years ago.
Gotcha. You're going to Guyana, I understand, to
Yes,
host
I am. I
to host
am.
to host a conference. Please tell us a little bit about this conference and why Guyana.
First of all, let me answer your very first question. Why this conference? This conference is a spin-off of what I do. I am a professor at Miami-Dade and Broward Colleges, and I do teach wedding and event planning and English. Now, I'm taking this conference to Guyana because I've already done it in South Florida. I've been to Suriname for my conference, and I think it's time to go home. I went home in May, and I wasn't very happy, ethically speaking, of a few things that I saw, and it angered me. Because, for instance, I attended a function they had at the Pegasus, which I consider to be an upscale hotel, which I consider to be an upscale event. And what I was actually looking at, Selwyn, is that the server, no fault of her own, but lack of training, was actually serving food over someone's shoulder. Well, that infuriated me. It really did. And I'm saying to myself, something has to be done here. This doesn't make any sense. Because imagine I am home. This is home for me, regardless where I live. Guyana is my home. And I'm at home and I'm looking at this. How does other people feel coming into my country and looking at this? They may not say anything, but then again, growing up Guyanese, with the kind of infusions that we had in our homes growing up, every home in Guyana, as far back as I can remember, we were taught to eat with a knife and fork. And we had to sit erectly, and our deportment had to be of such that, it had to be impeccable. Let's just put it there. And I didn't see that when I went home. And what this conference is infusing all of that back into my Guyanese heritage and culture, because I think we have lost it somewhere along the line to the point where people would actually say to you, well, this is Guyana and this is what we do. No, I don't know anything about that, and I refuse to accept it. Plain and simple, I will not accept that, because that's not how I was brought up. Love and Sunshine Destination Wedding Conference Guyana is going to be a teaching forum, and that is what I do. It's not a wedding expo, it's a teaching forum for persons that really want to know the ins and outs, ups and downs of how the industry is being run. And this is your point to learn that, because I am not going home alone. I'm taking in some of my counterparts with me in the wedding and event industry that will also shed some light on what we're doing. I am hoping, and I'm really, really being very hopeful, that tourism open their doors and allow us to be able to do this. So far, I do have the support of the Ghana Tourism Board, and I'm happy about that. Notwithstanding that I would love to see more destination weddings perform in Guyana, because Guyana is such a beautiful country. We have a lot to offer. So I'm hoping to myself that Guyana can turn around and market herself where people would say, I want to go to Guyana to get married. That is the place to be. It's done throughout the Caribbean. Why not us?
I agree. I totally agree with that.
So when this is a $55.5 billion industry we're talking about.
Can you repeat that number, please? 55.5 what?
$1 billion industry. It's not million, it's a
Jeez.
$1 billion industry that I want my country to tap into.
You have my wheels turning here, Joy.
That what?
You have my wheels spinning. CWS is having its 5th anniversary celebration in Guyana next year, first week in July. So I'm just putting it out there to you, and we're expecting you to be there, Joy.
I don't have a problem. Just send me an email of that nature, and of course I'll be there. I'll be happy to be there.
Why are you so driven to teach etiquette?
Because, frankly speaking, it's more appropriate for everybody to learn that. Some people might say, oh, we don't want to be bothered with that. That's a bunch of nonsense. No, it is not. You never know where you're going to end up in life and what is required of you. I remember 50 Cent, the rapper, he had to learn to use a knife and fork when he had the notoriety of the rapper. I mean, this young man didn't know to eat with a knife and fork. All he did was a fork. And there is one more piece of utensil that goes with that, which is a knife. And he said he was grateful when he learned to do that, because as he go out and expanded himself in the music industry and had to go to meetings and had to go to luncheons, he was able to pick up his knife and fork and use that. And I mean, it showed people a different side of him. Ethically speaking, people seem to think it has lost its flavor, but no, it has not. It really has not lost its flavor, because I know everything is not for everybody, but by God, get into it.
What advice would you offer someone considering this career?
If this is something that you really want, go for it. Like I said before, it's not for the faint at heart. You want it, work for it.
Joy,
Nothing comes.
Sorry, go ahead. Sorry.
Nothing comes easy, because Selwyn, I can safely say nothing comes easy, because everybody's listening to you and all the accolades and all this good stuff, and Yes, Joy Agnes, and she's doing great and she's wonderful. But there is a beginning to Joy Agnes before we get to Joy Agnes events because I was homeless. And you have to dig yourself out of where you are to perfect who you are, to become who I am.
Joy, every now and then fate gives us these pearls, and it's up to us to
Oh,
recognize them and do something with them. And you've just
yeah.
given me a pearl. You were homeless. Now, here is
Uh-huh.
somebody who was homeless, dug herself out or lifted herself out of that,
That's
and is
right.
now a successful events wedding planner, professor, author. We'll talk about your book just now, Wedding and Event Consulting 101. But
Right.
tell us about the, hmm, see how I phrase this, that contrast, Joy.
Tell me
That,
about what, Selwyn. Why are you being so modest? Being
oh,
homeless?
yes, tell us about, well, tell us about that
Just
journey
say
from
it. Just say
homelessness.
it. Just say it. Stone my pillow, earth my bed, sky my blanket. Those three will tell you exactly how I did it. Stone my pillow because I didn't have one.
Wow.
Earth my bed because that's where my two boys and I slept. And the sky was my blanket. Our blanket, let me rephrase that. Because you're looking at two children ages 7 and 2. My husband was just deceased a month before I became homeless, before we became homeless. Then we rephrase that also. So, I mean, here you are. And I often ask people this: what does homelessness look like? It doesn't have a face. Anybody can be homeless. It doesn't come about because you're lazy or because you don't want to do this or you don't want to do that. Sometimes situations thrust you into homelessness. But then there's a flip side to that. From homelessness to an address. That's the title of my next book I'm writing.
From homelessness, I love it. I love it
From
already.
homelessness to an address.
When you look back on that period, that time,
Uh-huh.
um, what are you grateful for?
Everything. My life. That was also a humbling experience because coming from Guyana as a teacher and ending up in that position, and I can say this to you, and it's going to sound crazy. I loved that period, even though I didn't know the ramifications of it, but now I'm where I am. I love that period because when I look at people and with empathy, I say to myself, well, I've been there.
I've been there. Wow.
I've been there.
Um,
Been there, done that, got a trophy.
you could not have gotten here, Joy, without people talking to you, some speaking at you, some giving you advice. What is the least helpful advice someone has ever given you?
You want to know the truth, Selwyn?
Yes, I want to know the truth.
You want to know the truth.
Yes, tell us the truth.
Nobody.
Nobody. Mm.
Nobody. Nobody. I picked myself up, dust myself off. I was the first and only black manager the diplomat ever had. After that, the new diplomat, well, there are more employees there now, but that, yes, I was the first and only. And with that form of exposure, you speak to people and you get involved and engaged in conversations. And you pick the sense out of the nonsense and you move on. But to actually say to you, oh, Selwyn, I had this person that encouraged me and took me under their wing and all that wonderful stuff that
Nobody.
some experience, I must say in its totality, I had nobody.
Awesome, awesome. That just goes to show the strength of your character and the depth of your conviction, Joy. I must
Yeah.
say that. But after
Thank
27 years in the industry, what do you wish you knew then that you know now?
Oh my goodness. Hmm. I should have networked a little more.
Network.
It's a great tool. You can't do it alone. And that is why the model for my conference in Guyana is each one tell one.
Each one tell one.
Because if I had somebody, yes, meaning everybody's attending the conference, I would like them to tell somebody else about the conference. So each one tell one. Bring somebody with you when you come. Because there's a lot that's going to be offered on this platform. Because if I had somebody that says to me, networking is a great tool, Joy, I think you should do more of it, I think I would have been ahead of myself more than I am right now. But nothing is done before it's time, eh?
Tell us about your book, Wedding and Event Consulting 101, and your decision to write it.
Because being a professor, and I'm looking at a lot of things that's going wrong, and some things that young women do, they don't know how to put themselves together, makeup wise, hairstyle wise, their body type. A lot of them don't know how to do this, to dress appropriately. And that prompted me to do this book because it's a lot of grooming. It's telling you how to sit, your deportment, your mannerism. It's a whole lot that goes into that book.
If you had to go to your favorite place to relax, with your favorite thing to read, your favorite drink, and your favorite music, where will this place be? What will you take to read? What will you be drinking? And what music will you be listening to?
Okay, we'll start with the bottom up. I will be listening to jazz.
Mm-hmm.
One of my favorite all-time jazz songs is Take Five by Dave Brubeck. Um, I've requested upon my demise that they will play that song. So that's to tell you how much I love Take Five. That's number one. Number two, my favorite drink, I it varies. It depends on my mood that I'm in. I can have from a shandy to a screwdriver. It depends. I'm
Okay.
not labeled on one drink.
Mm-hmm.
But what I must tell you, if I'm going to be doing a lot of thinking, it's going to have to be Hennessy on the rocks.
Ah.
I love the mellowness of it. I love the concentrated flavor of the cloves and the spice that goes into Hennessy. Yes, when I am really doing what I know to do best, it's got to be a glass of Hennessy on the rocks. My favorite book. I don't have a favorite book because I said before I'm an avid reader. So I would pick up anything and I would read. So I don't have a favorite book per se. The place to be, my home. I travel extensively, Selwyn. So whenever I get the pleasure of being at home, I take advantage of it.
Okay. What are most people surprised to learn about you when they get to know
How silly I can be.
you?
I can be very silly, and I I love to crack jokes, as we would call it back home.
Uh-huh.
I love to see people laughing. So I mean, that's a silly side of me. My family sees that side, but when people get to know me, they'll be like, "I really didn't realize you were so funny." Yes, I am, because on the norm, I do have a very serious facial expression, and I have no apologies for that, being who I am. Life is not funny, and I am sorry to disappoint anybody that thinks it is. You can't laugh at everything in life.
What is most
You just
reward
can't laugh.
what is most rewarding about what you do?
Looking at my clients being satisfied, that gives me the kind of reward that I need. Providing and knowing that you are extremely comfortable with allowing me to spend your money.
Do you have a favorite hobby? What is it?
My favorite hobby?
Uh-huh.
Ah, what's my favorite hobby? Music. I love to listen to music.
Music.
I love music. Yeah, I'm a music buff. I'm a big music buff. I can go to from reggae to jazz and everything.
Finish this sentence for us. I look forward to Sunday evenings too.
Relax.
Mm.
R&R. Rest and relaxation.
When are you most happy?
Oh my God. When I am most happy. When my granddaughter is around, she's 7, and we have great times together because she's fun. She's fun. She's
I,
fun.
I want to go
You
to the
know.
chat room. Someone said, Simone said, you are an extraordinary eagle. Leslie asks, what education and skills one needs to be a wedding planner?
Sorry about that. You kind of broke up a little bit.
Sorry.
Sorry.
Leslie asked, what education and skills one needs to be a wedding planner?
You have educationally, you have to be able to learn to read properly. I mean, it may sound funny to a lot of people, but reading is fundamental. And a lot of people don't do that in today's society. They look at pictures. So
Mm-hmm.
for you to become a wedding planner, the first thing you have to do is learn to read. You have to be able to have a bit of math also, because in terms of your tables, you need to know that, your round tables, how many are going to be seated there, and how many chairs you need, and the kind of footage of the tables that you're going to need, your tents that you need. So there's a bit of math there. And the next thing that you do need to do is to be certified. Get certified. I mean,
What's
I
it?
know there are a lot of programs on the computer and in the web world. Get connected with any one of them. Eventually, you'll work your way up to the right spot where you need to be.
That DB said asked, is it very expensive to hire Joy Agnes? Is it very expensive to hire Joy
It's
Agnes?
not very expensive to hire Joy Agnes. You're not hiring Joy Agnes, you're hiring Joy Agnes events. So it depends on what your budget is, it depends on where we're going, it depends on how much you would like us to do. So it's quite a bit that comes into hiring Joy Agnes. Do we do low end events? Of course we do. I love to do them. And I have no problem with it. It reminds me where I came from. But do I love doing high end events? Of course, I love to do that too. And anything in between. So I really don't have a line of demarcation as to where or how I don't want to work. That is why I'm a destination wedding specialist.
Joy, what are you most thankful for?
Oh God, I thank God every day for the ability to be able to be who I am, to execute the kind of work I execute, because now I not only take it as a job, but I take it as a profession and a talent, because I realize over the years everybody can't do everything. So I am grateful for that. And one thing, if you're going to start up into this business, that you need to know, you cannot be extremely sensitive to the comments of persons. You have to allow them to roll off sometimes, because you have to consider the persons that are making these comments. Some of them are neither here nor there. So you allow it to go. But above all things, you need to remember tough times don't last, tough people do. So if you are going to tell yourself that you are going to be the best of what you do, be prepared for a fight. Because like my dad used to say, be nice to the people as you go up the ladder, because in coming down, you're going to meet them. So if you're not nice going up, brace yourself coming down, what's going to happen?
Joy, you have to repeat this. This is so profound. If you are prepared, no, if you intend to be the best at what you do, be prepared for a fight.
You have to.
Wow.
Nothing comes easy in life. You have to remember, Selwyn, that there's some people in life, their total purpose in life, this is going to sound crazy, is to make other people feel less than. And you have to fight against those odds. Coming back to what I said again, tough times don't last, but tough people do.
What are you most proud of?
Hello?
What are you most proud of?
What I'm most proud of?
Yes.
My family, my children, my sons, my daughter-in-law, my two grandchildren. I'm very proud of them.
If you could
Everybody has a mind of their own and doing exactly what they need to do. Sorry?
if you could go back in time, what will you tell that
Mm-hmm.
15-year-old girl?
What I would tell her?
Yes.
I missed something there. Who are we speaking of?
We're talking, okay, let me rephrase the question. If you could go back in
Yeah.
time, what will you tell your 15-year-old self?
What I'll tell my 15-year-old self.
Mm-hmm.
Oh my goodness. Be the best that you can be. Because at that point in time and stage of my life, yes, I was doing dancing in the school, National School of Dance, but at the same point in time, I didn't know where that was going to take me, if that would have been a career base, if where it would lead me. I didn't know. Because when you're 15, there's a poem that says, merry the time when the heart is young, blue skies above us, playmates who loves us. The world is a journey that we've just begun. Merrily we escape it, grayly we tread it. And that was my motto growing up. I love to sing, I love to dance, I love to get involved in all those wonderful things. But then again, it's not like you sat down and carved out your niche in life until you get a little older, like I fell into mine as a hobby. And now it's become a business. Thank God for that.
Last question for the evening. What makes you laugh out loud?
Oh my goodness, you will not believe it. You will not believe it. Sometimes I can sit still and I can remember things that happened, and you can't help but laughing because mankind is so amusing and amazing all in one breath. Because the thing about mankind, we don't even realize sometimes some of the things we do. And like there's a saying that says, they don't even know themselves. They don't even know what they're doing. People can be very funny at times, and they do the most silliest things thinking that they're on point, and you're looking at them and it's hilarious.
Joy,
It's hilarious. But
Joy,
that's life.
it has been wonderful. Thank you so much.
Thank
Thank.
you for having me,
Oh, you're
Selwyn.
welcome,
Thank you
Joy.
so much.
Have a wonderful, have a blessed weekend. I know it's only Wednesday, but it's Labor Day weekend, so have a wonderful weekend, Joy, and thanks a lot again.
You're welcome. I'm heading your way on Sunday, but I'm not staying for the Labor Day weekend. I'm heading back in Monday morning.
You're doing what? I
I'm
didn't.
heading into New York
Oh,
on
oh, really?
I'm
Oh,
heading into New York on Saturday. Yes, I
oh,
am. I'm
wow.
getting in on Sunday, and then I'm turning around and come back out Monday morning. So I would have missed all the festivities.
Oh my gosh. Well, safe
The
travels.
wonderful world of work. Thank you so much. Eh?
Thank you. You're welcome. Bye bye.
Thank you. Bye bye.